if ever you okay, good evening here again. Okay, so today I just want us to deal with a fixed asset register. I want us to deal with a fixed asset register. So we're going to be dealing with various questions that deal with our fixed asset register. Such questions, we can start with this question. So we'll just be emphasizing on the basic principles and so forth. Okay, I don't know, you said that at your school you did balance sheet notes, right? Please correct me there.
Balance sheet.
Okay, so I want us to deal with this. We are going to deal with a fixed asset register. So when writing your test, a fixed asset register, it is always assessed. In most cases, more like in 90% of your question paper, it will always be assessed. Okay, you can ask. Vivi.
Yes, we're gonna do the balance sheet note, but we're not gonna do the fixed asset thingy. We're only gonna do it like term 4.
Yeah. So Tina today will be dealing with your fixed asset. Because remember that when you're dealing with your balance sheet, when dealing with being balance sheet, under non-current asset, you have fixed or tangible asset. But then with regards to this thing, normally when it's assessed, they will not require you to do the full note, but then rather you'll have to calculate your denoted figures, such as what? Such as calculating maybe the likes of your additions, the likes of your disposals at carrying value, the depreciation, and so forth. It just depend on the exam. So just for today's session, I just want us to look at it and then also do a balance sheet. Then with regards to the balance sheet, we'll only be doing a balance sheet structure. So let us go through with the. So on our question there, we had to calculate our additions at cost. There, we have to calculate the additions at cost. So before we can deal with this one, is there anyone who has a clue on how we can calculate our additions at cost? Maybe once we try it or attempt it. Remember, no attempt is incorrect. We don't want to try that for us.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, let us look at our question there. So as we have stated, we have to calculate our additions at cost. So remember that with regards to principles, for you to get your cost price at the end, for you to get your cost price at the end here, in order for you to get your cost price at the end, you see your cost price at the beginning of your asset plus your what? Plus your additions, meaning the asset that you bought during the year, plus your additions. Cost price at the beginning plus additions right? And then we'll also minus what? We'll also minus our disposal, meaning the asset that you sold. But then with regards to disposal, you minus the cost price of the asset that you disposed, minus your disposal. And then it will be equivalent to what? It will be equivalent to your cost price at the end. But then with regards to disposal, let me highlight it there in your formula. You minus your cost price of the asset that you dispose or that you sold. And then you get your cost price at the end. Cost at the end. That's how you will calculate your thing. So that is your formula there. In order for us to get the cost price at the end, we say cost price at the beginning of the year plus our additions, meaning the asset that we bought, minus our disposal. So you can use it, and then, yes, this is your formula. So you can write it maybe down there or in any page that you are currently using. Meaning, in order for you to get your what, maybe if you get you in this situation, you're not looking for meaning for apologies there. For them to get the cost price at the end, they said for 430,000 rand plus our additions. In this situation, you don't have a disposal, right? Meaning they did not minus anything. And meaning they only said cost price. What am I even doing? They said cost price at the beginning, 600,000 rand, our cost price at the beginning. They said 600,000 rand plus our additions. We don't have a disposal, meaning they did not minus anything. And then that's how they got 780. For them to get 780, they said cost price at the beginning, meaning 600,000 rand plus our additions. And then that's how they got cost price at the end. So remember that with regards to your formula, normally when you start from your bottom going upwards, what do? You do a vice versa for what you normally do, meaning the amount that you used to minus, you are going to add them. Then the one that you used to add, you'll minus them. So we'll say cost price at the end, which is 780,000. We don't have what? Disposal, meaning you're going to minus what? Cost price at the beginning. And then we get our additions at cost. That's how we'll get our additions at cost there. We'll say cost price at the end minus cost price at the beginning. And then we get how much when you minus both of them. We'll say 780,000 minus 780,000 minus your 600,000. In which you get 180,000. 180,000 rand would be our additions. 180,000 will be our additions. So let's go record it. Our answer for A, we said we'll say 780,000 minus our 600,000, in which you got 180,000. So with regards to our cost price, or number A there, is there anyone who maybe has a question there? With regards to maybe a calculation of it? Or are we all good, guys? Please indicate there in the chat box if ever you have questions or you're perfectly fine with it. Okay, Vivi saying that she's fine. What about you, say? Do you comprehend with everything that we have just done? Or you have questions?
Yes. So
Okay.
far, so good.
That's positive. And then with regards to B, you have to calculate our disposal at carrying value. Disposal at carrying value. So we are going to record the carrying value of the asset that we dispose. Meaning I'm going to record the carrying value at the point of sale. That carrying value that you're going to record here is a disposal at carrying value. This will be your what? This will be your carrying value at point of sale. Meaning when you sold your asset, you are going to record its relevant carrying value. Not the carrying value at the beginning, but then rather the carrying value at the point of sale. Then remember, for you to get a carrying value, you say cost price minus the aggregate depreciation, meaning minus the accumulated depreciation. And then that's how you're going to get your disposal carry value. So for us to calculate this one, we'll have to go to adjustments. Let us go to adjustments and see the one that talks about depreciation. That talks about depreciation. Or that talks about disposal. Okay. Let us go to letter H there. Letter H, they are saying that depreciation must be written off on equipment at 15% per annum. Remember, we're looking for the equipment that was disposed. So they're telling us that depreciation must be written off at a rate of 15% per year. Using what? Using the diminishing balance method. Remember the diminishing balance method is the carrying value method. Remember, with regards to depreciation calculation, we have the two methods in which you can calculate a depreciation. We have a cost price method, and secondly, we have a diminishing balance method. With regards to depreciation calculation, I think that one we did on our previous session. I did even send you a video in which I said that you should go through it, that talks about depreciation, in which depreciation was emphasized there, and also our two methods of calculations was also emphasized. So in this, they're saying that we are using the diminishing balance method. Diminishing balance method, we know that this is our carrying value method. So according to this relevant method, in order for us to calculate our depreciation, we are going to use the carrying value of our asset. According to what? Diminishing balance method. You use the carrying value of your asset to calculate depreciation. And then they're saying that, take note. They're saying that take note that equipment with a cost price of how much? Equipment with a cost price of 18,000 rand and the carrying value of 12,000 rand on the first day of the financial year was sold to a director. So the carrying value of our asset when we commence with our business, it was how much? It was 12,000 rand at the beginning of the year. And then they're telling us that we sold it to a director, Tim Low, on the 30th of September 2019. You should also highlight this thing. You sold it on the 30th of September 2019 for 4,000 rand. You are not necessarily interested on the price that you sold our asset. No entry has been made of any of this transaction. And then remember that you cannot do depreciation without your financial day. It's quite futile. So we'll have to calculate or draw up a financial day. This is our financial day. Our financial day begins on the 1st of January 2019. Remember, I was dealing with this question paper last week. Our financial year begins on the 1st of January 2019, and then it ends on the 31st December 2019. And then what did they actually say here? They told you that on the 30th of September, in your financial year, you will highlight 30th of September. So 30th of September is probably here. 30th of September, what did you do? You sold your asset. 2019. Meaning for this relevant financial year, you use your asset from the 1st of January when you open your business up until the 30th of September. Use it from the 1st of January up until the 30th of September. Meaning in October 2019 up until what? Up until your December, you had you no longer had that asset in your business. Meaning if you already not have it, meaning you don't have to calculate its relevant depreciation. So for this current financial year, we only use it for 9 months. From January up until September, it's actually 9 months. You can actually even calculate with your finger. That's how normally I use it. Fingers will always give you accurate answers instead of prophesizing it. Can also can calculate it with your fingers there. So we use it for 9 months. Remember that I said that our disposal carrying value, we are going to record the carrying value of our assets at the point of sale. Meaning we have to know Guti, on the 30th of September, when we sold our asset, what was the carrying value of our relevant asset? But now in this question paper, they gave you the carrying value at the beginning of the year. In which a carrying value at the beginning of the year, it amounted to 12,000 rand. They provided you with the carrying value at the beginning, which amounted to 12,000. That is your carrying value at the beginning, is 12,000 rand. But then Tina, we have to get the carrying value on the 30th of September. So for you to get the carrying value on the 30th of September, you'll have to calculate your depreciation for the current financial year. Meaning you have to calculate the depreciation for 9 months. And then that depreciation that you got will simply say 12,000 rand minus the depreciation that you got. And then you'll get your carrying value on the 30th of September. So how are we going to do that? We'll calculate the depreciation. Remember the method of depreciation that you are actually using. They say that we are supposed to use the carrying value method. Meaning for us to calculate the depreciation, we are supposed to use the carrying value for asset. Therefore, we'll say 12,000 rand. That is our carrying value at the beginning. 12,000 multiplied by our rate. Meaning multiplied by 15 over 100. Multiplied by the months in which you used your asset for. So in the current financial year, we only use our asset for 9 months. Meaning multiplied by 9 over 12. And then we'll get your depreciation for the current financial year, in which you get how much, guys? Please tell me the value that we get. Let's just insert the calculation in our calculators. And please notify me or tell me the amounts that you get. And then 1,350. Therefore, 1,350 will be our depreciation for the current financial year. So we use it. So our depreciation amounts to 1,350. Therefore, for us to get our carrying value, we'll say 12,000 minus 1,350. Carrying value. Say carrying value at the beginning, which amounted to 12,000. Minus 1,350. And then we'll get the carrying value on the 30th of September, which amounts to how much? Please also calculate this one, guys, so that we get our answer. You can simply type it in the chat box here again. Here that will say 12,000 multiply by our rate, 15 over 100. You can ask your question, ma'am. It was like,
I'm sorry, just to be honest. So the 12,000 was for like the beginning of our financial year.
yes, the carrying value at the beginning.
And okay, so and then the 1.350 was for like from like January to the 30th of September.
Yeah, the depreciation.
Okay, so we had to take like the beginning and minus it with the
Carrying value at the beginning
I'm
minus.
kind of
Uh, I don't know. How are you confused? I also don't understand your question, man. Can you 10,000? Okay. Why are you confused? No. Where are you actually confused, or which amount do you comprehend with? Let me not erase the amount. Can you please repeat your questionnaire again so that you can answer it?
For the 12,000, it was for the beginning of the year, right? It was for the for
It's
January.
it's for that 12,000 rand is what? Is it your cost price or what? Let's
It's
go
my carrying value
at the what? At the beginning,
at
right?
the beginning of
Kind of yeah on our financial statement, on our balance sheet. Yeah, on our balance sheet. What balance sheet? But then with regards to your fixed asset note, let me show you fixed asset note. For your disposal here, for B, what did I say about B? I said that you're supposed to record the carrying value where? At beginning or at point of sale?
at the beginning.
I never said that in B. I never said that for your disposal there. Yeah, I never said. Yeah, I never said that. You're supposed to record for your disposal. Never said that you're supposed to record carrying value at the beginning. That's not what I said. But then rather what I said about this thing is that when dealing with the fixed asset register, with regards to disposal carry value, I said that you are going to record the carrying value at the point of sale. You are going to record the carrying value at the point of sale. Meaning subsequently, at that point of sale, meaning when you sell your asset, that's when you're going to record the carrying value. Not the carrying value at the beginning, but then you record the carrying value at the point of sale, meaning when you were selling your asset. So that 12,000 rand, is it a carrying value at the point of sale or at the beginning? That's the carrying value at the beginning of the year. So you cannot write 12,000 rand here. That's the carrying value at the beginning of the year. Here you record what? Here you record. Here you record. You cannot write 12,000 rand here. Here you record the carrying value at the point of sale. The carrying value when you sold your asset. So that's the carrying value at the beginning. 12,000. That's the carrying value at the beginning. And then for the current financial year, we used our asset. When you are using your asset, obviously its value is going to decline. But then it's only limited to your vehicles and also equipment. When you're using your equipment and also your vehicles, its value is supposed to decline. Our carrying value at the beginning was 12,000 rand, but then we use our asset. And then when you use our asset, your asset will have a depreciation. And then we find that Gucci, for this current financial year, our asset amounts to 1,000. The depreciation for it supposed to be 1,350. Therefore, we say carrying value at the beginning minus what? Minus the depreciation, which will give you 10,650. So that's why we wrote 10,650 instead of writing 12,000. I don't know if ever I answered your inquiry, or your inquiry has been answered. That's good.
Everything is
And then let's go to C. C there is your depreciation. C is your depreciation. And then remember with regards to your depreciation, I said that it's going to be three steps. You will start by writing bought or new. Meaning you start by calculating the depreciation for what? For the asset that you bought and write sold. And the second step that you're going to do, calculate the depreciation of the asset that you sold and write your value there. And thirdly, write old or remaining. Old or remaining. All the remaining. All the remaining, basically, you are calculating the depreciation of the asset that stayed in your business for a period of 12 months without being touched. All the remaining, calculate the depreciation of the asset that stayed in your business for a period of 12 months. And then after doing that, you'll add your aggregate depreciation, meaning you add the value that you got for bought, add it with the one for sold, and lastly, add it with the one for all the remaining. And then that's how you'll do your depreciation. It's a 3-step: bought, sold, and lastly, all the remaining. Let us go to our question.